Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Older cats getting their second win. And this is for one of my supporters, Carlton McGee. And, he wanted to know about older cats getting their second win, like, hit 40 or something. I'm going to give y'all some game on that. And another player broke this down to me, right? Another player broke this down. Now, this is a cold player. Some people who follow me on Facebook, they might have they might know who this dude is. I mean, if this dude got into the relationship game, because this dude is a straight up Mac. This dude is a straight up Mac. This dude is just thorough, right? But anyway, this dude said something very profound. He said, you hit your 40s, that's like the best age. Especially if you got a little bit of money, you keep yourself in shape. Because in your 40s, you can get the 20-year-olds, if you keep a nice body. And plus you got that wisdom, and people who follow my Patreon, where I really share some game, they know about that knowledge game. I mean, I talked about it on here, but I don't think people got it, though. See, you got some knowledge, you got some confidence, everything, right? And then even then, you still, you got something for the young girls, especially if you keep yourself in shape. But you also got something for these older women. A lot of these older women who keep themselves in decent shape, shoot, they want that young energy. Seriously, they want that young energy, and young to them is in their 40s. And I'm going to tell you what, a very famous person, Shahrazad Ali, who wrote the classic book, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding a Black Woman. She said that in that book. She even said that or in her companion book, The Black Woman's Guide to Understanding a Black Man. Now that I think about it, you understand, I ain't read that joint since the early 90s. All right, but whatever one, this is Shahrazad Ali said, especially for a black man, if he can reach 40 and he hasn't, his head ain't got too messed up, he's at the top of everything. For a black man to reach 40, and shoot, even Napoleon Hill, the author of Think and Grow Rich, he said, men don't really reach their fortunes until their 40s and 50s. And that's true in life. I mean, a lot of people think, the fortune thing, a lot of people think it's in their, because they look at all these celebrities making money as young, but that's not normal. Most people who gonna really make their money, most men gonna make their money in their 40s. They'll start in their 20s or something, build up some stuff in their 30s, but when they reach 40, that's usually when most men kick it into gear. It's like 40, a few might hit it in their 50s, right? They'll get their second win, because think about it, if you keeping yourself in shape, right, you can still do the same things that a young person can do. Now, I know a lot of people don't see that, because a lot of times we judge physicality by what we see in sports. 40 is old, right? 40 is old in sports generally, right? You can't do the same thing. But see, that's a different thing. We talking in life. We talking in everyday life. If you that person, you can keep in shape, decent shape, maybe not super duper cut and stuff shape, even though some dudes do that. But if you can keep in shape, think about it. I've always stressed that women like bodies. And there's a lot of women like what they call a silver fox. Older guy, he got a decent body, handsome face, decent shape. Plus, a man who's reached 40s and he hasn't had too much trauma. When I say too much trauma, he hasn't got into drugs, he hasn't faced chronic unemployment. Usually most men have got to a level of mastery. It could be, in the trades such as being a barber, a plumber, in a profession such as being a doctor or an attorney or something. So in addition to staying in shape, that man also got confidence, right? He's going to have confidence. And that's one of the main ways people always talk about, how do you build confidence? The best way, and I talk about this in my book, Nice Guys and Players, the best way is just get competent in whatever you choose to do in life. Develop competence. And that's one thing men in their 40s will have. And, plus they live life. They should have got some wisdom. Most men, honestly, there's a lot of men who don't make it. It's not like you make it to 40 and automatically you got some sense. A lot of guys don't have any good sense. There's a lot of guys in their 40s and 50s who just jacked up, still trying to figure out what they want to do, never had a sense of mission. All right. That's it. And, but you get these, when you get these older cats who can keep themselves in shape, they know what they're doing, boom. Boom, the world is your oyster. You get that second win, you just be like, man, I can do this now. You confident, you got your own place, you got your own car, shoot, you doing something. Any issues you might have had as young, there's some people that were like social issues. Now and when I say, and a lot of times too, especially if it's a black man, this apply to all men ultimately, but especially with black men in this culture. If you can make it to 40 and survived all the bullshit you had to survive, think about it. You done survived like bullshit on jobs, police bullshit, shoot, depending on where you at, bullshit with people questioning your blackness. Or other people, other dudes trying to test you. Some dudes, they got their 40s, they done had the kids or they've been married, divorced. If you a black man especially with some stuff stacked against you, if you make it to your 40s and you know what, you still around, you still standing, shoot, that's a rush of confidence. You like, damn, you know what, I done dealt with all of this shit. I'm still here. I'm still making it. Shoot, you get your second win. And like I said, man, shoot, some people will be complaining about some of these 40 and 50-year-old guys fucking these young girls. You know how much that shit turn on a woman? I mean, people, you get some people talk about confidence thing, but think about it. Think about it, especially you're a black man, right? Think about that shit, right? Your ass done got, you got studies saying you're fucked up. That you shouldn't make it. You got study. People doing studies. Some people living off of that. They spokesmen. They say, man, we got all this shit. Shoot, I remember years ago, you had some brothers trying to get federal protection because they said we're an endangered species. If you survived all that bullshit, shoot, you think, man, you come up, you walking with confidence, especially you standing tall. Shoot, you getting every woman that see you hot. Because I'm telling you, if you got that thing, because ultimately, one of the things that really turn on a man intangibly turn on a woman intangibly about a man, right? One of the things that turn them on is that confidence to move through life with authority. And shoot, if a 40-year-old can get it, so they get this second win, shoot, I'm going to tell you what. I remember I worked with this dude, man. I worked with this dude in his office. That dude was thorough. It was a bunch of dudes in the office. This dude outworked all of us. Y'all hear what I'm saying? This dude was in his 70s that fought in World War II, right? It was him and it was his other brother who had been a Tuskegee Airman. And he was pretty thorough too. Man, that Tuskegee Airman too, man. Just a real quick brief word about him. That dude, even the thugs in that worked at the job respected his ass. He'd be like, he just speak up his shit. They get in line for his ass, man. And shit, they weren't playing with his ass. He ain't play. This dude was a lieutenant colonel. So he was like, he told us to do something, we jumped. Like, oh, hi, sir. But nah, this other dude, though, I remember him. This dude had to be about good 5'8". Good 5'8". He was totally chocolate, totally melanated, right? And he was in his 70s, but if you kind of look at him, you might have thought he was in his 40s, right? You might have thought that cat was in his 40s. Anyway, this dude used to just outwork us. And just with energy, vigor. He didn't walk around all slow and everything. This dude had vitality. Man, some of us young guys, we joke with him. He said, man, you must be tearing your wife up. He looked at us and said, yeah, I do. And sometimes I tell her, call a friend to come help out. It's like, man, I'm telling you, man, if you, especially if you're a black man, and you can reach your 40s and you got, man, pop your collar to yourself, man. Seriously. That shit is powerful. People, that's just some real raw power right there. So, you know, they get their second win. Shit, I should know. 53 and proud. Anyway, right? That's it for today, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.